Failure is an inevitable part of the journey to success. It's one of those truths we all know but often struggle to embrace. We tend to associate failure with negativity, with a feeling of inadequacy or falling short. But when we take a closer look, we realize that failure is not the end of the road, but a necessary step along the path to success. Each failure we encounter has the potential to teach us, to make us stronger, and to guide us toward achieving our goals. One of the most important lessons we can learn from failure is resilience. Failure teaches us to get back up, to try again, and to keep moving forward, even when things are difficult. It's easy to stay motivated and keep working when everything goes smoothly, but when we face setbacks, we're forced to dig deeper and find strength we didn't know we had. Every failure we experience gives us a new layer of resilience, reminding us that we can endure tough times and still move forward. This resilience becomes a critical component of success because it keeps us going through the ups and downs of life. Another valuable lesson that failure teaches us is humility. Success can sometimes create a sense of pride or overconfidence, which may cause us to overlook our limitations or ignore the need to keep improving. Failure, on the other hand, is a humbling experience. It reminds us that we're not perfect and that there's always room to learn and grow. By embracing humility, we become more receptive to feedback, more open to learning, and more willing to adapt. This willingness to evolve and improve is essential to achieving lasting success. Failure also serves as a powerful motivator. When we experience failure, it often ignites a determination to prove ourselves and to overcome the setback. This motivation can be incredibly powerful, pushing us to work harder, focus more intently, and strive for improvement. Failure can act as a catalyst, inspiring us to go beyond our comfort zones and reach new heights. In many ways, failure can become the fuel that drives us toward our goals, helping us stay committed to our vision, even when the road is challenging. Beyond resilience, humility, and motivation, failure also sharpens our skills. When we make mistakes, we're given a chance to analyze what went wrong and understand how to improve. Each time we encounter failure, we gather new insights that can enhance our abilities and make us more effective. Failure often highlights areas where we need to grow or develop, allowing us to focus on specific skills that will be crucial for our future success. By learning from our failures, we become more capable and prepared for the next challenge, ultimately bringing us closer to our goals. Failure also teaches us patience, a quality that is often overlooked in the pursuit of success. We live in a fast-paced world where we're constantly pushed to achieve results quickly, but true success takes time. Failure reminds us that the journey to success is rarely a straight line. There will be setbacks, detours, and moments when progress seems slow. Patience is the ability to keep working toward our goals without becoming discouraged by temporary setbacks. By cultivating patience, we allow ourselves to stay focused on the bigger picture, knowing that each failure is just one step in a larger journey. Another benefit of failure is that it encourages creativity and innovation. When we experience failure, we're forced to find new ways of approaching problems. Failure pushes us to think outside the box, to try different strategies, and to consider alternative solutions. This mindset of innovation can lead to breakthroughs we might never have discovered if everything had gone according to plan. By embracing failure as a part of the journey, we open ourselves up to creative possibilities that can ultimately lead to greater success. Failure also strengthens our character. It challenges us to stay committed to our values and beliefs, even when things are difficult. Success achieved without setbacks doesn't test us in the same way. But when we face failure, we're forced to confront our doubts, fears, and insecurities. This process of self-reflection can lead to profound personal growth, helping us become more authentic, self-aware, and grounded individuals. Failure teaches us to remain true to ourselves, to trust in our abilities, and to stay focused on our goals, even when the path is uncertain. Furthermore, failure teaches us empathy and compassion. When we experience setbacks, we gain a greater understanding of the struggles that others face. We become more empathetic, more understanding, and more willing to support others in their journeys. This sense of compassion can strengthen our relationships and make us better leaders, mentors, and teammates. Success achieved through hardship often creates a sense of connection with others who have faced similar challenges, fostering a sense of community and mutual support. Finally, failure helps us redefine our relationship with success. We begin to understand that success isn't about avoiding failure altogether, but about how we respond to it. True success comes from the courage to keep going, to keep learning, and to keep trying no matter how many times we fall. Each failure becomes a building block, contributing to the foundation of our future achievements. When we embrace failure as a natural part of the journey, we develop a growth mindset that allows us to see every experience, whether positive or negative, as an opportunity to learn and improve. In the end, failure is not something to fear or avoid, it's something to embrace. It's a teacher that guides us, a challenge that strengthens us, and a motivator that pushes us forward. Failure is part of the journey to success because it shapes us, molds us, and prepares us for the challenges that lie ahead. When we see failure in this light, we realize that every setback is an essential part of our story. Each failure brings us one step closer to our goals, reminding us that success is not defined by a lack of failure, but by our ability to rise each time we fall. So, instead of fearing failure, let's see it as a stepping stone, a guide, and a necessary part of the process. The journey to success is filled with highs and lows, but with each failure, we gain the wisdom, strength, and determination to achieve something greater. Failure doesn't mark the end of the road, it marks the beginning of a new chapter, one that brings us closer to our dreams. When we think of failure, our instinct may be to avoid it, to wish we could erase it from our experiences. But what if instead of fearing failure, we saw it as an essential part of success? Failing better means recognizing that each misstep, each setback, each stumble offers us an opportunity for growth. It's about learning from what went wrong, so that the next time we try, we're more equipped, more knowledgeable, and more resilient. Every time we fail, we're given the gift of perspective. Each failure invites us to take a closer look at our approach, our mindset, and our actions. Why did we fail? Was it due to a gap in knowledge, a lack of preparation, or maybe even a lack of confidence? Asking these questions without judgment is the first step to failing better. Instead of allowing failure to define us, we can use it to refine our strategies, our attitudes, and our skills. The more we learn from failure, the better equipped we are to face challenges in the future. Failing better requires humility, the humility to admit that we don't have all the answers, and the humility to be open to growth. This isn't easy. Often, failure makes us feel vulnerable and uncertain. Yet, embracing this discomfort is the path to growth. Each failure teaches us to step back, observe, and improve. When we take a humble approach, we acknowledge that mistakes are an expected part of the process. Instead of being weighed down by our errors, we can look at them objectively and ask ourselves, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? It's in these questions that the real transformation begins. Another essential part of failing better is resilience. Each time we rise after a failure, we build resilience. Resilience is the strength to keep going, to keep trying even when things seem difficult. It's the decision to see failure as feedback, not as a final judgment. Every resilient person you see today didn't reach their level of strength by avoiding failure, they reached it by learning to handle it. They used each setback as a chance to bounce back stronger. Failing better is about building that inner resilience, the ability to stand up again, even when the world might be expecting us to give up. Each failure faced and learned from makes us a little tougher, a little braver, and a lot more determined. Learning from failure also means shifting our perspective on success. Often we see success as the opposite of failure, but in reality, success is built on a foundation of failures. Every failure teaches us something that brings us closer to our goal. By failing better, we become more familiar with the path to success. We begin to see failure not as a barrier, but as part of the journey. Each failure gives us a more realistic view of what it takes to achieve something meaningful. Success, we realize, isn't just the end result, it's the journey of continuous learning, adapting, and growing. The process of failing better teaches us that success is a layered experience, one that includes setbacks, redirections, and improvements along the way. Moreover, failing better involves a commitment to self-improvement. Instead of shying away from our weaknesses, failing better means addressing them head-on. If a lack of knowledge led to failure, we study and practice until we're more prepared. If poor time management was the issue, we develop strategies to organize our time more effectively. Failing better isn't just about getting up after a fall, it's about getting up with more strength, more knowledge, and more preparation than before. Each time we address the factors that led to failure, we're preparing ourselves for a stronger comeback. Failing better also encourages innovation. Often it's in the moments when things don't work out that we're forced to think creatively. Failure pushes us to question our assumptions, to challenge our comfort zones, and to explore alternatives we hadn't previously considered. Many breakthroughs and innovations are born from moments of failure, moments when the usual approach didn't work, forcing someone to come up with a new solution. By learning from failure, we become more adaptable, more resourceful, and more capable of seeing beyond the conventional paths to success. Lastly, failing better reminds us to practice patience. Growth is a gradual process, and meaningful success takes time. Failure teaches us that progress isn't always linear. Sometimes we take a step back before moving forward. Failing better means giving ourselves permission to be imperfect and to take the time we need to learn. It's a practice of accepting that the journey towards success involves ups and downs, victories, and setbacks. When we approach failure with patience, we're less likely to give up and more likely to see each failure as a small part of a larger picture. So, failing better means cultivating patience, resilience, humility, and a willingness to learn. It's about taking each experience, no matter how difficult, and using it as a building block. When we fail better, we realize that failure isn't something to be feared or avoided. Instead, it's an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more capable. Failing better means viewing failure as a guide, showing us where we need to grow and helping us become more resilient along the way. The journey of failing better transforms us, making each failure not just a temporary setback, but a step forward on the road to success. In the end, failing better isn't about the failures themselves, it's about the courage to keep learning, the resilience to keep going, and the wisdom to recognize that every setback is an opportunity to try again, this time, with a little more insight and a lot more strength. Resilience is one of the most crucial qualities anyone can develop, and it plays a central role in achieving success. When we think of resilience, we often imagine someone enduring hardship, bouncing back from challenges, or standing firm in the face of adversity. But resilience is more than just an ability to withstand difficult moments. It's a quality that shapes our approach to setbacks, challenges, and even failure itself. Resilience is the mindset that tells us to keep going, even when the path is tough. It's what keeps us from giving up when things don't go as planned, what drives us to push forward, despite difficulties. Resilience, at its core, is about how we handle the inevitable ups and downs of life on our journey towards success. One of the reasons resilience is so vital is because setbacks and challenges are a natural part of any worthwhile pursuit. There's no such thing as a smooth, obstacle-free path to success. In every story of achievement, you'll find moments of struggle and doubt. Without resilience, even the smallest obstacle can feel overwhelming, but with resilience, we can view obstacles as part of the process. They become something to overcome rather than something that defines us. Resilience gives us the strength to approach these obstacles with a sense of purpose and determination, seeing them as temporary rather than permanent. This perspective allows us to keep our focus on our long-term goals, even when the short-term challenges seem daunting. Resilience also builds mental toughness, which is essential for handling the unpredictability of life. Success is rarely a straightforward journey, and the ability to adapt to change is crucial. Resilience teaches us to adjust our plans when necessary and to find ways to keep moving forward, even if it's not in the way we initially envisioned. Instead of letting unexpected changes derail us, resilience allows us to pivot, to recalibrate, and to continue with a new strategy. This adaptability is one of the most powerful aspects of resilience. It gives us the ability to navigate unexpected changes without losing sight of our goals. In addition to mental toughness, resilience fosters emotional strength. It's not easy to face failure or disappointment, and resilience doesn't mean that we're immune to these feelings. Resilient people still feel frustration, sadness, and discouragement, but they have the inner strength to work through these emotions without letting them halt their progress. Resilience is about acknowledging difficult feelings but choosing not to be defined by them. When we develop emotional strength, we're better equipped to handle setbacks and to maintain a positive outlook even in challenging times. This emotional strength helps us stay motivated, reminding us of our purpose and our goals, even when things feel tough. Resilience also changes how we perceive failure. When we're resilient, we begin to see failure not as a personal flaw, but as a part of the learning process. Failure becomes less about defeat and more about feedback. It tells us where we might need to adjust our approach, improve our skills, or try something new. With resilience, failure becomes an opportunity to learn and to grow, rather than a reason to give up. This mindset is what separates those who succeed from those who stop trying. It's the difference between seeing failure as a roadblock and seeing it as a stepping stone. Another essential aspect of resilience is that it builds confidence. Every time we face a setback and choose to keep going, we reinforce our belief in our ability to handle challenges. This belief is powerful because it fuels our confidence. We start to trust in our ability to overcome obstacles, knowing that no matter what happens, we have the strength to keep moving forward. With each experience, resilience creates a sense of self-assurance, a quiet confidence that no setback is too great to overcome. This confidence is crucial for success because it allows us to take risks, to face our fears, and to strive for goals that may seem daunting at first. Moreover, resilience inspires perseverance. Perseverance is the ability to keep trying even when the outcome is uncertain. Resilience fuels this drive, helping us push through tough times when progress feels slow or when obstacles seem too large. Perseverance is often what makes the difference in reaching our goals, because most achievements require sustained effort over time. It's easy to stay motivated when things are going well, but resilience is what keeps us going when we face obstacles. It's the determination to keep taking steps forward, no matter how small, and to keep pursuing our goals, even when they feel far away. Resilience also enhances our problem-solving abilities. When we approach setbacks with resilience, we're more likely to view them as challenges to be solved, rather than insurmountable barriers. This mindset fosters creativity and resourcefulness, encouraging us to look for solutions and to think outside the box. Resilient people often become skilled problem solvers because they've trained themselves to see challenges as opportunities for growth and improvement. This approach to problem solving is invaluable on the path to success, where creative thinking and adaptability are often the keys to overcoming obstacles. Resilience cultivates patience. Success doesn't happen overnight, and the path is rarely straightforward. Resilience teaches us that growth takes time and that setbacks don't define us, they're simply part of the journey. Patience is essential for success because it reminds us to stay committed to our goals even when progress feels slow. With resilience, we're able to endure the waiting periods, the setbacks, and the small victories along the way, knowing that each step brings us closer to our dreams. Resilience is the foundation that supports every other quality needed for success. It's what keeps us grounded when things are uncertain, what drives us when the going gets tough, and what gives us the strength to continue pursuing our dreams, even in the face of adversity. Resilience is more than just an ability to endure. It's a choice to keep going, to keep learning, and to keep growing, no matter what challenges come our way. Failure. It's a word we often hear with a tone of finality, as though it's the end of the road, the end of our ambitions. But what if I told you that failure is actually where some of life's greatest lessons are found? What if I told you that failure is not an enemy to be avoided, but rather a companion along the journey to success? Yes, failure is not a stopping point, but a stepping stone, an essential part of the process that shapes us, teaches us, and moves us forward. In every pursuit, from business to art to sports, failure is as inevitable as it is valuable. Think of it as the sculptor of our character and the refiner of our skills. Failure forces us to confront our weaknesses, our assumptions, and our comfort zones. It tests our commitment and compels us to dig deeper, to try harder, and to be better. This is because every failure provides feedback. Each mistake we make tells us something about ourselves or our approach, something we may not have considered before. This feedback is priceless. It's how we grow, how we evolve, and how we ultimately succeed. Imagine for a moment if every attempt we made succeeded on the first try. If we never encountered obstacles or setbacks, if we never experienced the sting of defeat. It's tempting to think that life would be easier, but would it really be better? A world without failure would be a world without growth, a world without innovation, and a world without resilience. Growth is born out of mistakes. It's only by falling that we learn to stand taller, only by trying and failing that we learn what it takes to succeed. When you fail, fail again. But this time, fail better. Failing better doesn't mean making the same mistakes over and over. It means approaching each failure with an open mind, with curiosity, and with a willingness to learn. Failing better means analyzing what went wrong, understanding what you could do differently, and applying that insight the next time you try. It's about developing resilience and refusing to let setbacks define you. It's about seeing failure not as a judgment on your worth, but as a temporary misstep that you can correct and grow from. There is a beautiful strength in persistence. Some of the most accomplished people in history didn't get where they are because they never failed. They got there because they never gave up. They failed, they stumbled, they encountered roadblocks, but they refused to let those challenges defeat them. Instead, they used every setback as an opportunity to learn something new, to sharpen their skills, and to deepen their determination. The ones who reach greatness aren't those who never fall, but those who choose to rise each time they do. What does it mean to fail better? It means that each time you fail, you come out a little stronger, a little wiser. You've gained experience, and that experience is invaluable. The next time you try, you'll bring that knowledge with you. With each failure, you're building a foundation of resilience, one that will support you as you reach higher and higher. You're creating a legacy of perseverance, one that will ultimately lead you to success. Remember that every no brings you closer to a yes. Every time you fall, you're one step closer to standing tall. Every wrong turn brings you closer to finding the right path. So, when you find yourself face to face with failure, don't shy away. Embrace it. Understand that failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of it. Every time you fail, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience, and that makes all the difference. The road to success is paved with lessons learned through trial and error. Fail, yes, but fail forward. Move with intention, with persistence, and with the knowledge that each setback is preparing you for what's to come. In the end, failure is not a permanent state, it's a temporary stop along the way. It's a refining fire that, if we allow it, will make us stronger and more capable than we were before. Failure is there to shape us, to teach us, and to build the resilience that will carry us through. It's not something to be feared, but something to be respected, understood, and ultimately embraced. So the next time you fall short of your goal, remember that you have a choice. You can allow that failure to define you, or you can let it refine you. You can allow it to stop you, or you can use it as a stepping stone to move forward. You can choose to let it be the end, or you can make it the beginning of something greater. Embrace failure as a teacher, as a guide, and as a part of the journey to success. When we look at growth, real, meaningful, life-changing growth, we often find it comes not from comfort or ease, but from mistakes and missteps. Mistakes, by their very nature, are uncomfortable. They expose our limits, our misunderstandings, and often our vulnerabilities. Yet it is precisely through these experiences that we uncover the potential for real progress. Growth comes from mistakes not because we want to fail, but because the process of making and overcoming mistakes teaches us resilience, determination, and insight. Imagine if we never made mistakes. Life would feel smoother, perhaps, but also stagnant. Without mistakes, there is no real learning curve. There is no need to stretch, to adapt, or to refine our approach. Growth would be limited to what we already know, what we've already mastered. But when mistakes occur, they demand that we take a closer look. Mistakes push us out of our comfort zones, forcing us to question what we thought we knew, and more importantly, to think in new and innovative ways. Each mistake becomes a stepping stone, a critical part of a process that leads us toward improvement. Mistakes also allow us to see things from new perspectives. When something doesn't go as planned, it challenges us to look deeper. Why did this happen? What could have been done differently? How can we prevent this in the future? Mistakes foster curiosity and a desire to understand. This reflection helps us recognize both our strengths and our weaknesses, giving us the knowledge we need to become better, more capable versions of ourselves. Consider any skill, talent, or profession. Those who excel didn't get there by avoiding mistakes. Quite the opposite, they likely encountered countless errors along the way. A painter, for instance, learns to blend colors by trying and failing to capture just the right shade. An athlete learns their limits and then pushes past them because of mistakes in training and competition. A musician learns timing, pitch, and harmony through hours of practice, often filled with missed notes and imperfect rhythm. These mistakes aren't failures, they're lessons that guide the journey to mastery. Growth doesn't happen without those rough edges, without those moments where things don't go as planned. Each time we make a mistake, we become more aware, more insightful, and more equipped to handle future challenges. Mistakes also teach us resilience. When we make a mistake, we're faced with a choice: we can either give up or we can try again. Choosing to try again is an act of courage. It's a choice to believe in our own potential, even after we've been shown our imperfections. This resilience is a cornerstone of growth. It's what separates those who settle from those who strive to achieve something greater. Each time we rise after a mistake, we're building a layer of strength and resolve that will serve us in future challenges. Mistakes may sting, but they build a kind of emotional and mental endurance that we can rely on throughout life. And mistakes don't just teach us technical lessons, they teach us empathy and humility as well. When we make a mistake, we're reminded of our own humanity. We're reminded that nobody has all the answers and that everyone is on their own journey of learning. This understanding makes us more compassionate toward others when they stumble. It's hard to judge others harshly when we've experienced the humbling effects of our own errors. By accepting mistakes as part of the process, we're more likely to encourage others, offer them guidance, and support them in their own journeys. Another crucial aspect of growth through mistakes is that they remind us to let go of perfectionism. Perfection is an illusion, it's a static state that limits us, whereas growth is a dynamic process. When we embrace our mistakes, we start to see that perfection isn't the goal. Instead, the goal is continuous improvement, steady progress, and a commitment to keep trying even when things don't go smoothly. Perfectionism can trap us in a cycle of hesitation and fear, but mistakes break that cycle, pushing us forward, even if it's uncomfortable. Mistakes also foster innovation. Some of the greatest discoveries, inventions, and breakthroughs happen because someone made a mistake and then explored what went wrong. By analyzing mistakes, we can stumble upon solutions and approaches we might never have considered otherwise. The willingness to make mistakes is often the first step toward finding better ways to solve problems. Every mistake is an invitation to see things differently, to question assumptions, and to develop creative solutions. Growth through mistakes is about transformation. Each time we make a mistake, we're given the opportunity to transform our skills, our understanding, and our approach. Growth isn't about getting everything right the first time, it's about the journey of learning and adapting. Mistakes are integral to that journey. They keep us grounded, curious, and motivated to keep pushing forward. So let's embrace our mistakes as the powerful teachers they are. Let's allow them to show us what we're capable of, to build resilience, and to remind us that growth isn't about perfection. Growth is about progress, and mistakes are the path that lead us there.